There is a specific kind of silence that follows inconvenient truths, not the silence of empty rooms or still nights. The silence of rooms where people have decided, together, quietly, that some things are better left unsaid. What you are about to hear are not ghost stories. There are no monsters under the bed. There are only people, institutions, decisions made behind closed doors, and the unsettling realization that, in each of the cases we are about to cover, someone knew. They always knew. Part 1. The Tobacco Papers. In 1953, executives from the largest tobacco companies in the United States gathered privately at a hotel in New York City. Their own scientists had already confirmed what many suspected. Cigarettes caused cancer. The data was clear. The evidence was there. What happened next is not a theory, it is documented fact. Rather than go public, the executives commissioned a PR strategy, a full-page ad published in 448 newspapers, reassuring the American public that the science was unsettled, that more research was needed, that there was nothing to worry about. For the next 4 decades, the industry funded junk science, silenced internal researchers, and lobbied governments. They borrowed a tactic later used by other industries facing the same problem. Manufacture doubt, delay action, protect profit. One internal memo, written in 1969, outlined their goal with startling clarity. Doubt is our product. Not safety, not truth, doubt. Millions of people died during those 40 years. The men who signed that memo went home for dinner. Part 2. Flint, Michigan. In April 2014, the city of Flint, Michigan switched its water source to the Flint River as a cost-cutting measure while under state financial management. Almost immediately, residents reported that the water looked wrong, smelled wrong, tasted wrong. Children developed rashes. Hair fell out. State officials knew. Internal emails obtained through litigation showed that Michigan environmental officials were aware of elevated lead levels as early as 2015 and discussed how to delay the required public notification. One email asked how much time they had before they were legally obligated to tell people. Meanwhile, the state quietly switched the water supply in Flint's government building to bottled water for employees, while publicly insisting the tap water was safe for the families living blocks away. Estimates suggest between 6,000 and 12,000 children were exposed to elevated lead levels during this period. Lead poisoning causes irreversible neurological damage. There is no treatment. There is no reversing it. Most officials who were charged faced dropped charges or minimal consequences. The children are still living with what was done to them. They drank bottled water. They told the families the tap was fine. Part 3. COINTELPRO. Between 1956 and 1971, the FBI ran a classified domestic surveillance program called COINTELPRO. Its stated purpose was to monitor groups deemed subversive. Its actual purpose, as declassified documents later confirmed, was to neutralize them by any means available. The program targeted civil rights leaders, anti-war activists, and journalists. Martin Luther King Jr. was surveilled for years. Shortly before he was to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, the FBI sent him an anonymous letter. The letter, written by bureau agents and authorized by the director, called him a filthy, abnormal animal. It suggested, in thinly veiled terms, that he should kill himself. The program also used forged letters to create distrust between organizations, planted informants inside activist groups, and sent anonymous tips to the spouses of targets alleging infidelity, designed to destabilize their home lives and their focus. COINTELPRO was not uncovered by an investigation or an oversight committee. It was exposed because, in 1971, a group of citizens broke into an FBI field office in Pennsylvania and stole the files. They sent them to journalists. The program was revealed not through accountability, but through a burglary. An internal memo stated the program's goal as to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize its targets. The FBI director signed off on every operation. The government knew the surveillance did not begin with smartphones. It was practiced for decades, on paper in offices by men with budgets and authorization codes and government salaries. What connects these stories is not a shadowy council, not a single mastermind. What connects them is simpler and more disturbing. Ordinary people, ordinary offices. The choice made deliberately and repeatedly to look at evidence and choose profit, to look at suffering and choose silence. The documents exist. The memos are real. The signatures are on them. This is not conjecture. It is history that took decades to surface, and only surfaced because someone, somewhere, chose not to stay quiet. The question has never been whether these things happen. The question is what we do with the knowledge that they do, whether we stay curious, whether we stay uncomfortable. Because the alternative, the quiet certainty that institutions are always honest and always working in your interest, that is not safety. That is just a different kind of silence.